Money has been flowing to certain people for centuries while bypassing others entirely, and the difference has nothing to do with luck, connections, or circumstances. There exists a fundamental understanding, a spiritual law so precise and powerful that those who grasp it become magnetic to wealth, while those who remain ignorant of it continue struggling financially, despite their best efforts. You found this message at the exact moment when your consciousness is ready to receive this ancient secret. The universe has orchestrated this divine appointment because you're prepared to understand why money flows effortlessly to some while seeming to avoid others completely. Today, you join the ranks of those who comprehend the true nature of abundance and become a conduit through which prosperity naturally flows. By the time these revelations integrate into your consciousness and transform your relationship with money, you will understand why your previous financial struggles were inevitable, why your current breakthrough is imminent, and why your future abundance is guaranteed. You'll see how money operates according to spiritual law, not economic theory, and how aligning with this law makes you irresistible to wealth in all its forms. The great secret that changes everything is this: money is not a thing to be acquired, but a flow to be joined. Most people approach money as if it were a limited resource to be captured, hoarded, and protected from others who might take it away. They live in scarcity consciousness, believing that someone else's gain must mean their loss, that wealth is finite and must be fought for. This fundamental misunderstanding creates the very resistance that blocks money from flowing to them. When you treat money as a scarce commodity, you create scarcity in your experience. When you approach wealth with desperation and need, you repel the very thing you're trying to attract. Money flows like water. It moves freely toward open channels and away from blocked passages. The universe operates on abundance, not scarcity. There is no shortage of money, any more than there is a shortage of numbers. The same infinite intelligence that created galaxies filled with countless stars has embedded abundance into the very fabric of existence. Money is simply one expression of this infinite abundance, and it flows naturally to those who understand and align with its true nature. Consider the remarkable story of Andrew Carnegie, who arrived in America as a poor Scottish immigrant with nothing but an understanding of this principle. While others saw only limited opportunities and fought each other for scarce positions, Carnegie recognized that wealth was created, not competed for. He understood that money flows to those who provide value, who solve problems, who serve others' needs. Carnegie built the largest steel company in the world by grasping this fundamental truth. Money is energy that flows toward those who facilitate its circulation. He became one of the richest men in history by focusing on serving the growing nation's need for steel rather than focusing on his own need for money. The money followed naturally because he aligned with the flow rather than fighting against it. Stand in this same understanding and affirm with complete conviction: money flows to me naturally as I align with divine abundance. The second key to understanding money's flow lies in recognizing that prosperity is your divine birthright, not a reward for struggle. The universe did not create abundance for some and scarcity for others. It created abundance for all, but only those who claim their birthright experience it. Money avoids those who believe they must earn it through suffering and flows toward those who understand they deserve it through divine inheritance. This principle appears throughout ancient wisdom. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. This divine desire for your prosperity reveals that abundance is not something you must convince God to give you. It's something God is eager to pour through you when your consciousness becomes receptive to receiving it. Your soul's prosperity, your alignment with divine abundance consciousness, determines your financial prosperity. When you truly understand that you are heir to infinite wealth because you are one with the source of all wealth, money begins flowing to you through channels you never expected, in amounts that surprise you, at times that seem miraculous. The biblical story of Solomon illustrates this principle perfectly. When offered anything he desired, Solomon asked for wisdom rather than riches. Yet because he aligned his consciousness with divine priorities rather than material accumulation, he received both wisdom and wealth beyond measure. "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you." Solomon understood that money flows to those who prioritize spiritual alignment over material acquisition. By seeking divine wisdom first, he positioned himself to receive abundance as a natural consequence rather than a struggling pursuit. His prosperity flowed from his consciousness, not from his circumstances. Let this truth penetrate your being and declare with unwavering faith, "I claim my divine birthright of infinite abundance and prosperity." The third key reveals why money seems to multiply in the hands of some while disappearing from the hands of others. Money responds to your energetic relationship with it. If you fear money, it avoids you. If you hate rich people, you repel wealth. If you believe money is evil or corrupting, you create barriers that block its flow to you. Money is neutral energy that takes on the characteristics you assign to it. When you hold money in reverence as a tool for good, as energy that can bless others and create positive change, it flows toward you because you've made yourself a safe place for it to accomplish divine purposes. When you view money with suspicion, fear, or judgment, it moves away from you because your energy field is hostile to its presence. Warren Buffett exemplifies this principle in his relationship with wealth. Rather than seeing money as something to hoard for personal pleasure, Buffett views it as energy to be circulated for maximum benefit. His famous commitment to give away 99% of his wealth demonstrates his understanding that money flows most abundantly to those who hold it lightly and use it purposefully. Buffett's investment philosophy reflects this same principle. He seeks companies that provide genuine value rather than quick profits. His wealth grew exponentially because he aligned with money's true nature as a flow of value exchange rather than treating it as an object to be possessed. Money trusts him with greater amounts because he demonstrates wisdom in its stewardship. The universe is asking you to make a revolutionary declaration right now. In the comments below, write these words: "Abundance is my natural state." This simple statement activates something profound in your consciousness. When you publicly declare abundance as your natural state, you break agreement with every scarcity belief that has limited your financial flow. You align yourself with the infinite prosperity that is your birthright. You signal to the universe that you're ready to receive wealth in ways that match your divine nature. Make this declaration now, then continue listening, because what follows will show you exactly how to become an unstoppable magnet for money. The fourth key unlocks the mystery of timing. Why money flows to some people at exactly the right moments, while others remain perpetually waiting for their breakthrough. Money flows according to divine timing, not human impatience. Those who understand this principle position themselves to receive abundance when the universe is ready to deliver it, rather than forcing outcomes through desperate action. Divine timing operates on perfect intelligence that sees the full picture of your life, your preparation, your purpose, and your capacity to handle wealth wisely. Money delayed is often money refined. The universe uses apparent delays to increase your ability to receive, steward, and multiply abundance when it arrives. Consider the journey of Sarah Blakely, who spent years developing her idea for Spanx while working a full-time sales job. For months, manufacturers rejected her concept, department stores dismissed her product, and critics questioned her business model. From a human perspective, the timing seemed all wrong. She had no experience in fashion, no connections in retail, no capital to launch properly. But Blakely understood something crucial about divine timing. Preparation happens in the invisible realm before manifestation appears in the physical realm. She used the apparent delays to refine her product, develop her business skills, and strengthen her faith in her vision. When the timing aligned, everything happened rapidly. Oprah endorsed her product, sales exploded, and she became the world's youngest self-made female billionaire. The delays were not obstacles to her success, but essential preparation for it. Money flowed to her at precisely the moment when she was ready to receive it, handle it wisely, and use it purposefully. Divine timing ensured that her abundance served not just her personal needs, but a larger purpose of empowering women globally. Align with this perfect timing and affirm with complete trust. Divine timing orchestrates my financial abundance for my highest good and greatest purpose. The fifth key reveals the magnetic power of gratitude in attracting wealth. Money flows toward those who appreciate what they already have and away from those who focus on what they lack. Gratitude is the frequency that opens all channels of abundance, while complaint is the vibration that closes them. Most people operate from a consciousness of, when I have more money, then I'll be grateful. This backwards thinking creates a vibrational barrier that repels the very abundance they desire. Money responds to present moment appreciation, not future promises of gratitude. When you genuinely appreciate your current resources, however modest they may appear, you create the energetic conditions that attract greater resources. The parable of the talents demonstrates this principle clearly. The servants who were grateful for what they were given and used it wisely received more. The servant who complained about receiving less and hid what he had lost, even that. For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. This is not cruel divine punishment, but natural spiritual law. Gratitude multiplies whatever you're grateful for, while complaint diminishes whatever you complain about. Money flows to those who demonstrate appreciation for abundance in any form, and moves away from those who focus on lack and limitation. Tony Robbins built his fortune on this understanding. Starting from poverty with an abusive childhood, Robbins could have focused on what he lacked. Instead, he cultivated profound gratitude for every opportunity to learn and grow. Even when living in his car and washing dishes in a restaurant, he maintained appreciation for the chance to develop his speaking abilities and help others transform their lives. Robbins' gratitude wasn't just personal practice, but became the foundation of his success. He genuinely celebrated his clients' breakthroughs, expressed authentic appreciation for every platform he was given, and focused on the abundance of human potential rather than limitations. Money flowed to him abundantly because he became a channel for gratitude that empowered millions of people. His wealth multiplied because he used his resources to amplify transformation and possibility in the world. Cultivate this magnetic frequency and declare with heartfelt appreciation, I am deeply grateful for all abundance flowing to me now and always. The sixth key unveils the power of circulation. Money flows to those who keep it moving and stagnates with those who try to hoard it. Wealth is like a river that must keep flowing to remain fresh and vital. When you dam up the flow through fear-based hoarding, you create stagnation that eventually cuts off your supply. When you allow money to flow through you freely, you become a conduit that attracts ever-increasing abundance. This principle challenges conventional financial wisdom that emphasizes saving and accumulation over circulation and investment. While prudent financial management has its place, the deeper truth is that money multiplies when it moves with purpose and diminishes when it sits idle through fear. John D. Rockefeller understood this principle profoundly. Despite becoming the wealthiest person in modern history, Rockefeller never hoarded his wealth. He continuously reinvested in business expansion, philanthropic causes, and economic development. He famously said, I believe that every right implies a responsibility, every opportunity, an obligation, every possession, a duty. Rockefeller's wealth grew exponentially because he treated money as energy to be circulated for productive purposes rather than security to be stored for personal protection. He gave away over $500 million during his lifetime, more than $13 billion in today's money. Yet his wealth continued multiplying because he maintained the flow of abundance rather than restricting it. His understanding that God gave me my money reflected his recognition that wealth comes through divine channels and must be stewarded for divine purposes. Money trusted him with greater amounts because he demonstrated that he would keep it moving for the benefit of many rather than hoarding it for the benefit of few. Embrace this principle of circulation and affirm with generous confidence. Money flows through me freely, blessing others and returning to me multiplied. The seventh key exposes the crucial role of purpose in attracting wealth. Money flows most abundantly to those whose prosperity serves purposes greater than personal accumulation. The universe channels resources through people who will use them to create value, solve problems, and bless others. When your wealth serves only your own desires, the flow remains limited. When your prosperity serves divine purposes, the flow becomes unlimited. This principle explains why some people with modest personal needs attract enormous wealth. They become conduits for abundance that serves purposes beyond their individual requirements. The universe trusts them with greater resources because it knows they will deploy that abundance for maximum benefit to humanity. Consider the remarkable story of Chuck Feeney, who built a multi-billion-dollar fortune through duty-free shopping, but gave away virtually all of it during his lifetime. Feeney understood that money flowed to him not for personal accumulation, but for purposeful distribution. His giving while living philosophy recognized that wealth is stewardship, not ownership. Feeney's anonymous philanthropy, he donated over $8 billion without seeking recognition, demonstrated his understanding that money responds to pure intention rather than ego-driven motivation. His wealth multiplied rapidly, precisely because he held it lightly and used it purposefully. He proved that the fastest way to increase wealth is to increase your capacity to channel it for good. His influence inspired other billionaires like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett to pledge giving away the majority of their fortunes. This multiplication of purposeful wealth distribution shows how money flows toward those who understand its highest function, serving humanity's greatest needs and possibilities. Connect with your highest purpose and declare with sacred intention, "My wealth serves divine purposes and multiplies as it blesses the world." The eighth key reveals the transformative power of faith in manifesting financial abundance. Money flows to those who maintain unwavering faith in divine provision even when circumstances suggest limitation. Faith is not wishful thinking, but spiritual knowing that transcends physical appearances. When you truly know that abundance is your divine inheritance, you naturally attract experiences that validate this knowing. Most people operate from faith in lack. They believe deeply in limitation, scarcity, and financial struggle. This faith in limitation creates the exact experiences they believe in. But when you develop faith in abundance, when you know with absolute certainty that you are heir to infinite wealth, the universe must validate your faith by providing evidence of your divine inheritance. The biblical principle states clearly, "According to your faith, be it unto you." This is not religious doctrine, but practical instruction in how spiritual law operates. Your faith, your deepest beliefs about what's possible for you, determines what you experience. When you have faith in abundance, you experience abundance. When you have faith in limitation, you experience limitation. This faith must be demonstrated through action. True faith in financial abundance moves you to make decisions from prosperity consciousness, even when circumstances suggest scarcity. You invest in your growth, pursue your dreams, and take inspired action because you know that divine provision supports those who align with divine principles. The story of Mary Kay Ash illustrates this faith-based approach to building wealth. When she started Mary Kay Cosmetics at age 45 with only $5,000, conventional wisdom suggested her venture was destined to fail. She had little business experience and entered a highly competitive cosmetics market, but Ash operated from unshakable faith in divine provision. She built her company on the principle of empowering women to achieve financial independence through serving others. Her faith wasn't just in her products, but in the spiritual law that abundance flows to those who help others prosper. She famously said, "God first, family second, career third," prioritizing spiritual alignment over material accumulation. Her faith was validated through extraordinary success. Mary Kay Cosmetics became a billion-dollar empire that created wealth for hundreds of thousands of women worldwide. Money flowed to Ash abundantly because her faith created the conditions for abundance to manifest, not just for herself, but for countless others through her organization. Root yourself in unshakable faith and affirm with absolute certainty, "My faith in divine abundance creates unlimited financial prosperity in my life." As these 8 keys integrate into your consciousness, you begin operating from abundance awareness rather than scarcity thinking. You recognize money as divine energy, seeking purposeful channels rather than limited resources, requiring desperate pursuit. You understand that wealth flows according to spiritual law rather than economic theory. This shift in understanding automatically shifts your experience. Opportunities appear where you previously saw obstacles. Resources become available when you need them. Connections form that support your prosperity. Ideas emerge that create value for others while generating wealth for you. Money begins flowing to you naturally because you've aligned with the laws that govern its movement. The transformation occurs at the level of consciousness first, then manifests in physical experience. As your inner world aligns with abundance, your outer world must reflect this alignment. This is not positive thinking, but practical application of spiritual law. When you truly understand how money flows, you position yourself in the stream of abundance rather than swimming against it. You realize that your previous financial struggles were not personal failures, but simple misunderstanding of how wealth operates. You were working against spiritual law rather than with it, creating resistance rather than flow, operating from fear rather than faith. Now you understand, and understanding changes everything. Money flows to those who understand that prosperity is divine inheritance, not human achievement. Money flows to those who treat wealth as energy to be circulated, rather than objects to be accumulated. Money flows to those who align with abundance consciousness, rather than operating from scarcity thinking. Money flows to those who maintain faith in divine provision, even when appearances suggest limitation. Money flows to those who use wealth purposefully rather than accumulating it selfishly. Money flows to those who appreciate what they have rather than focusing on what they lack. Most importantly, money flows to those who understand this. You are not separate from the source of all abundance. You are an expression of that source. The same intelligence that creates galaxies and sustains ecosystems lives within you and through you. When you align with this intelligence, when you think from its abundance rather than from human limitation, when you act from its generosity rather than from personal fear, you become a magnet for wealth that serves divine purposes through human channels. This understanding transforms your entire relationship with money. You stop chasing wealth and start attracting it. You stop forcing financial outcomes and start allowing divine provision. You stop operating from scarcity and start living from abundance. The universe celebrates this awakening because it represents the return of one of its children to conscious partnership with infinite prosperity. Money flows to you now because you understand the principles that govern its movement. Abundance seeks you out because you've become a worthy vessel for its expression. Wealth gravitates toward you because you comprehend its true nature and highest purpose. Right now, as this understanding integrates fully into your being, new streams of abundance are opening in your life. Resources you need are being prepared. Opportunities that match your elevated consciousness are being arranged. Connections that will support your prosperity are being orchestrated. Money flows to those who understand this, and now you understand. The flow has begun, and it will continue growing stronger as your understanding deepens and your faith increases. You have joined the ranks of those who live in conscious partnership with divine abundance, and money flows to you naturally, abundantly, continuously. Welcome to your new relationship with wealth. Welcome to the flow of divine abundance. Welcome to the understanding that changes everything.